Hello, this is the Bible in fewer words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 110, 1 Samuel chapter 18. If you enjoy this podcast, consider supporting us at patreon.com/BFW. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol.
We are now talking about a love story, I think. Is this a love story?
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
I mean, some people think so. I mean, it's sometimes claimed to be. People wonder about it. It does sound just like it could be.
yeah. Why don't we let our listeners decide?
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 18. After David finished introducing himself to Saul, he met Saul's son, Jonathan. Before we go on, we left Saul saying, "Who are you, really?"
Yeah, it was really strange because they got to know each other. David played his harp or his lyre for him and chased the evil spirit away. He'd killed Goliath, and they had that interview, and it seemed like Saul really knew who David was.
Yes, he was offering his chain mail or whatever.
And then after he kills Goliath, then he says, "Hey, Abner, who is that guy?"
So maybe he's having memory issues.
Maybe really what it is it's out of place. That little section at the end probably should have been somewhere up before David kills Goliath. I don't know.
All right.
They met.
And now he finished introducing himself, and we are moving on.
Mm-hmm.
And now David is meeting Saul's son, Jonathan.
Yes.
Okay. They hit it off right from the start. So it looks like David and Jonathan are going to be best friends.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jonathan's soul was knitted to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved David as his own soul.
Okay. Knitting souls together.
Yeah. So they're very close friends.
Mm-hmm. Quickly, they're very close friends.
Yeah, immediately. It was like friendship at first sight.
Yeah. Or attraction at first sight.
Something at first sight.
Yeah. So they made a covenant to each other. Jonathan sealed it by taking off his clothes and giving his sword, bow, and girdle to David.
It's a strange thing.
Mm-hmm.
You just meet somebody, you become friends, and then you take your clothes off and give it to the other guy as kind of a sign of your friendship, I guess.
Okay, but did he actually give his clothes to him, or did he give him his sword, bow, and girdle?
Oh, I don't know, but he took his clothes off.
Yes, he took his clothes off to access the sword, bow, and girdle, I guess.
I don't know.
Why would he want to give those very important things to a soldier to somebody else?
I don't know. None of it makes any sense to me, but that's what he did, is he took his clothes off. Apparently, all of his clothes, as far as you can tell. Mm-hmm. And he gave his sword, bow, and girdle to David.
So they're very close, these two.
Yeah, I've never been that close to anyone before.
All right, so verse 5. David went wherever Saul sent him and behaved himself wisely. Okay, so now we're not going to hear about Jonathan anymore in this chapter.
Not in this chapter,
okay.
But we'll hear quite a bit more about Jonathan as we go along.
Okay, so he's kind of Saul's right-hand guy, David is.
He is.
All right, so he's doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. He became Saul's captain, and everyone in Israel knew and loved him.
Well, that's good that that's working out.
Yeah.
After David killed Goliath, there were celebrations in every city of Israel where women danced and sang these words.
Saul has killed his thousands, and David his tens of thousands.
How did Saul feel about that?
Yeah, we'll find out in the next verse.
Saul was angered by the song, and he said, "They say David has killed tens of thousands, and I've killed only thousands."
Next thing you know, David will have my kingdom too.
Yeah, well, I've been wondering, what has that happened to David being anointed by God?
Well, he's been selected by God. This is all
secret.
It's secret, yeah.
So he can't really be king if nobody knows about it.
He's not really king. Saul's still the king, but he's kind of the incumbent. I'm not the incumbent. He's the president-elect.
Oh, yeah,
he's the king-elect. He's a selected king by God, but he's not going to become king until later.
Okay. Saul didn't trust David from that day forward.
The next day, the evil spirit from the Lord came upon Saul, and he prophesied, while David played his lyre. That's another strange sentence there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So the evil spirit comes on Saul, and he prophesied. What, the evil spirit makes him a prophet now?
Uh-huh. And last time the evil spirit came on Saul, bad stuff happened. Like he was depressed and...
It's going to happen here too.
Oh. Okay, and the prophesying stuff, we don't know what it... he doesn't say anything?
Saul is doing this prophesying a lot in 1 Samuel.
Okay.
It's just a strange thing. The evil spirit comes on him, he starts prophesying.
And do those things come true, you think?
Well, prophesying is not necessarily predicting the future.
It's just saying stuff.
Well, it's saying stuff that God has inspired you to say.
Oh, he's channeling God.
Yeah, like that. But you wouldn't think, the thing that troubles me about this is when an evil spirit comes on, evil spirit from God, you wouldn't think that the person who receives that evil spirit would begin to prophesy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You prophesy when the Spirit of God comes on you,
Yes.
not when
the
evil spirit from God comes
You're
on.
right.
Yeah.
Verse 11. Saul tried to kill David twice by throwing a javelin at him, but David got out of his way. Maybe that's the evil spirit saying, you got to go kill David?
Yeah, could be.
Because you wouldn't think God would do that because God's choosing him as his, special guy, choosing David.
Yeah, anyway, God was with David and he was no longer with Saul.
Saul made David his captain, although he was afraid of David.
And everyone in Israel loved David because he went out and came in before them.
So that means he's going out to war and winning the war and coming back home.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, it's a weird saying.
It is, yeah.
Verse 17, Saul said to David, "Here's my daughter Merab. I will give her to you for a wife."
David said, "Who am I that you'd give your daughter to me?"
I don't understand, first of all, why he would give him his daughter, because he hates him. And secondly, why is David saying that? Like, who am I? Like,
he's
don't love
trying
me?
to be modest. I'm
nobody.
I'm a nobody. You're the king. What are you giving me your daughter for?
Okay. So Saul gave his daughter Merab to someone else. I guess he said, okay, you're right. You're nobody to me.
Another daughter of Saul, Michal, I'm not sure how you pronounce that.
It's Michael without the E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a female name. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to call her Michal.
Okay.
So another daughter of Saul, Michal, loved David. And the interesting thing about this is that this is the only woman in the Bible who is said to love a man. Yeah, it's about as romantic as you get as far as women loving men. Michal loved David. I don't know how that happened because how would she even know him?
Yeah.
David.
Everybody loves
Everybody
him.
loved David.
That whole fame thing kind of
Yeah.
gets excited.
Mm-hmm.
Saul said to his servants, "Say this to David. You can buy my daughter Michal with 100 Philistines' foreskins." What do you mean, 100 Philistines' foreskins?
Well, it's clear enough.
No, it's not. How are you going to get a person's foreskin?
Well, it's probably going to be tough. Philistines don't give up their foreskins easily. So I figure that...
So you can't just say, hey, I'll give you $10. Give me
Yeah,
a
I think you're
foreskin.
going to have to kill the Philistine to get his foreskin.
Oh, my God.
So
He's going to...
He had to kill 100 Philistine foreskins.
100 Philistines.
But then the job is just kind of started. You killed the Philistines. Now you got to get their foreskins. And so you got to have a pretty nice knife to do that. It's really a delicate operation.
But at least you're not fighting somebody off while you're doing it.
Yeah, but I think he probably didn't just get the foreskin. I'll bet he got the whole enchilada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeepers. All right, when Saul's servants delivered the message to David, he liked what he heard. Wait a minute. So he wants to go kill 100 Philistines for their foreskins?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a sick man. So David killed 200 Philistines and brought their foreskins to Saul. He
Yeah.
only needed 100.
Yeah, he was feeling generous.
He really liked Michael, I guess.
Yeah, I think he was just showing off. You asked for 100, I'm going to give you 200.
Okay, he is sick in the head, that guy.
Uh-huh.
And isn't he in love with Jonathan? What is he doing marrying Michael?
Oh, the Jonathan thing. I don't think the Bible is clear about whether he loved Jonathan or not. Well, maybe. Later on in future episodes, we'll come back to the David and Jonathan thing. And there are some other things that make you think that, yeah, he really did love Jonathan.
Okay. And Saul gave Michal to David after he gave him, I guess, 200 Philistine foreskins.
Yeah. So he gave him the foreskins, counted them out, and then and then Saul gave him his daughter. Yeah, that's sweet. After that, Saul knew that the Lord was with David, and his daughter Michal loved him.
How did Saul know that?
You don't get 200 Philistine foreskins without God's help. That's the way he knew.
So that's how he knows the Lord is with David.
Yeah.
Verse 29, David became Saul's enemy, and he also became famous. The whole thing is just weird.
Yeah, this is one of the strangest chapters, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
But that's how David got his first wife.
With 200 Philistine foreskins, even though he only needed 100.
Yeah. Everything that David did pretty much was something that God approved of. In fact, there's a later verse in the Bible that says that everything that David did
was approved by God.
Right. Except for one thing, which we'll see later. There's only one thing that David did wrong in his whole life that we know of.
All right.
But it wasn't killing these Philistines and buying a wife with 200 foreskins. That was just good. In fact, that was proof that, to Saul anyway, that the Lord must be with him.
Okay. Well, a very interesting story, my friend.
Yeah, and the next episode is going to have some more stuff about David and Jonathan.
Oh, so we don't have to wait long to find out about that relationship.
Nope.
You know, this is a little bit of a soap opera.
Oh, yeah.
Can we say that about the Bible?
It's a soap opera on steroids, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't have nearly the excitement on
soap operas that you do in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Yeah. Somebody should do that. A biblical soap opera.
Actually, it would be fun. I think the closest thing I know of is the Brick Testament.
Oh, yeah.
The Brick Testament is something that everyone should take a look at. What's done there is all of the scenes, all of the events, everything that we're talking about here is acted out by little Lego characters. In the Brick Testament. It's wonderful. And you can find it online. And there's also books.
Do you know the name of the guy who did that?
I think it's Brendan Powell.
Oh.
Yeah, bricktestament.com, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing this lovely story with us, Steve.
Sure.
And listeners, thanks for sharing as well. Bye-bye.